Climate change is the children's word of the year, even though it's 2 words, according to a survey carried out by Oxford University. It doesn't get much better as the word war narrowly missed the top spot. And this comes as Lizzie Collins, who is also standing to be the MP for the Morecambe and Lonsdale constituency, visited a primary school up there to discuss politics with the pupils. They say current events often influence children's choices, but is this really the case? Or are we politicising or even brainwashing our children? Well, join me now for a feisty debate on this. It's writer and broadcaster Emma Wolfe and journalist and broadcaster Julie Cook. Welcome to the show, both of you. Always a pleasure. Julie Cook, could we start with you? Why are children saying climate change and war are their favourite words? Where are they learning from? Where are they learning this nonsense from, and should it stop?
Well, they're learning it from the adults around them, clearly. I mean, when I was a young child, aged 8 or below, I only heard about things on the 6 o'clock news, which my dad was watching. The rest of the time I was learning the 3 R's and mucking around in sandpits. So it isn't the same now for young children. I think they are being politicised, and I think they're learning things far too soon. It's all very well sending counsellors in to discuss politics and get them interested young. Yeah, that's a great idea. But, ultimately these children need to be focusing on the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic, and I think it's quite frightening that climate change is their word of the year.
Emma, we should keep politics out of the classroom. What's your take?
Well, normally, Martin, you know me, I'd say let children be children, don't politicise our children. Certainly, and stop with the kind of climate change indoctrination, all of that kind of woke nonsense. But actually, I think sending counsellors into the classroom is a really good idea. We have shocking levels of kind of political ignorance and political apathy in this country. Children love ideas. They love learning how to debate. They love exploring the world and finding out about things. So I actually think sending, counsellors and politicians into the classroom is a good idea, even for young kids. But when it comes to things like climate change indoctrination and trying to get them talking about war and things, trying to get them to take sides, no, I'd say absolutely not. I wish their word of the year was play or imagination or dinosaurs or fairies or, childhood things rather than climate change.
Yeah, but the danger there, I put this to you, Julie Cook, the word of the year next time might be, Jeremy Corbyn, because the politician in question, Lizzie Collins, is a Corbynista. She was teaching 7 to 10-year-olds about high taxation, wealth limits, owning second homes and giving 16-year-olds the right to vote. Julie Cook, I put it to you again, if we're going to teach politics to children in school, we need some balance.
Oh, gosh, yes. I read about this and thought, well, at 7 to 10 years old, you really need to be learning about second homes and high levels of taxation. At 7 to 10, I think it's putting a lot of adulting onto these young children as well. So as you say, there should be balance. If we're sending one counsellor in, we should be sending all of the counsellors in to have a kind of almost panel debate, which is even more absurd, I know, for 7 to 10-year-olds. But, let's be honest, we need all sides of the debate. But I think the idea of war and climate change, all these terrifying, huge concepts are going in these people's brains at night. These poor children are going to sleep worrying about these massive concerns. And I think it is going to affect their childhood.
So, Emma, very quickly, isn't that the problem? If we're going to teach politics, there needs to be balance. There is no balance, so just keep politics out of the classroom.
But you don't need to politicise them. Martin, you don't need to politicise them. You can tell them about voting and how that works and how the parliament runs and how democracy works. You can talk to them about ideas and you can talk to them about the world that they live in. Children do engage with that kind of thing from as young as 7, even younger. You don't need to politicise them and start telling them, about gender ideology or, the climate change, the kind of Greta Thunberg stuff. There are ways of just explaining to them how the world is run. What I'm so depressed about is the fact that most of the population couldn't tell you who's in the shadow cabinet. They probably couldn't tell you who's in the cabinet. So there is a real level of political apathy in this country. I think people need to get engaged, and that can start quite young.
OK, we have to leave it there. Emma Wolfe and Julie Cook, thank you for joining us on that debate. Keep politics out of the classroom.